at times we try to compare things. Let's say you are talking to somebody here and you're describing where you come from. And then you say maybe the distance from where you stay to your neighbor's place, you compare it to where you are and say it is like from here to... I mean, this comparison, there are no two things that are exactly equal. But the comparison only assists somebody to understand different circumstances to the best of your knowledge and ability. I want to do the same to compare the Form 4, which we were there, and the Form 4 of the 844. Although, of course, we have a bit slight differences here and there, but it is good to explain, especially to two people. Yes, we have some people who did the former Form 4 and still cannot understand the current 844. And we have a lot of people who went through 844 but cannot understand the situation there. To make matters complicated, we ended up in Standard 7 and 844 ended up in Standard 8. And then we had Form 6. But for purpose of clarity, I'll try not to include the Form 6 because it's a bit more complicated. You'll find that even 80% of the people who are in the old system, when I start describing the Form 6 kind of education, the advanced level, it would be a bit hard for over 80% of people who went through the old system and ended up in Form 4. So I just want to compare the Standard 7 and then the Standard 7 and Standard 8, and then Form 4 and Form 4. First of all, before I continue, you will have discovered that the government is doing away with this thing they were calling junior secondary. I was one of the people who were vehemently tried to convince the government, of which the government did, I don't know whether it is coincided or they listened to us, calling the new grade 7, 8, and 9, calling it junior secondary school was wrong. It is good that they are calling it junior school, because calling it junior secondary, and during our time we had junior secondary. So it would mean that a person who completes grade 9 would be equal to a Form 2 of our time. Of course, the Form 2 of our time had completed 9 years in school because he had done up to Standard 7 and then Form 1, Form 2. So but if you look at the syllabus, and not just the syllabus, the IQ and the reasonability of a grade 9, of course at this time we are yet to reach grade 9, but at the end of the time, trying to imagine that a grade 9 is of the same academic level with a Form 2 of a Kenya Junior Secondary is bad. I tend to believe that a grade 9 is more or less a Form 4 in the 844. So I think that one also played a part in not calling that junior secondary, but calling it junior school, so that senior school would be equivalent to high school during our time. You know, during our time, secondary school ended in Form 4, and Form 5 and Form 6, the advanced level, is what used to be called high school. High school was advanced, and secondary Form 4 was called ordinary level. Now let us go back to CPE. To differentiate a person who completed his education in standard 7, it used to be called CPE. But when it was added a class more, so as to know that this one did up to standard 7 and the other one did up to standard 8, the one of standard 8 was called KCPE. They added Kenya. As used to be called Certificate of Primary Education. And you know what? Believe it or not, we used to do it in one day. It used to be a Tuesday on the last week of the third term. So other classes don't attend school on Monday and Tuesday. They come back on Wednesday. And then they are there on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday they close school. Now on Monday is what we used to call rehearsal. So you go to school for rehearsal. Then Tuesday you go there. We used to do 4 papers. I can't really recall because I did my CP 1975. I can't really recall what the actual thing. But there was one paper for maths and there were 2 papers for English, because one was English composition. Maths was purely shading. Actually, in 1975, we are the ones who started shading the oval, the egg-shaped. But those who did CP 1974 had a square, 4 squares. One square was A, and B, a C, and D. But us, we came up with 4 eggs. 1975. So we had maths, which came as 1 paper, and it was just you had to mark you had to shade whichever answer you felt with. And actually 1975, the year we not only came with eggs, and we are also the first year that our marking was done through computer. 1974, it is the markers used to come and you'd mark with a biro. So the markers would just look at it and see number 1 is whatever. And then also 1975, we are the first people who got our results between Christmas and New Year. Just immediately after Christmas, I think around 27th December, that is when we got our results. And that is the difference between CP and KCP. I don't know how many days KCP take today, but we in 1975 did it on one day. You go there, maths was 1 paper. That is it 50 or 100? I don't know how many questions, but all of them were, you marked A, B, C, D using a HB pencil. Maths was 1 paper. English were 2. There was English composition, which you wrote a composition using a biro, not using a biro, using a pencil. And then there was also English, which you could mark just the way the maths was marked. That is 2nd paper. 3rd paper was, I said there was maths, there was English composition, English questions and answers. There was then the general paper. Yeah, general paper. Now, general paper, someone was trying to say that was GHC. Okay, GHC is the nearest explanation to general paper. But general paper of primary, there was also general paper in A-levels, but I say today I'm not going to talk about A-levels. But let me talk about general paper. If you go to university today, there are those compulsory units. Compulsory units. Now, those compulsory units are what in A levels we used to call general paper. But general paper in primary, it used to be all other subjects which are not covered in English and mathematics. Of course, we never did the Swahili as an examination subject. It started in Form 1. Then we go to Form 4. If you are the old type like me and you don't understand 844, or if you are in 844 and you want to understand our system, kindly note that just like 844 has an A, in the 763, the A, call it Division 1. Then we have a B. A B, call it Division 2. Then we have a C you call it Division 3. A D, call it a Division 4. You now understand. Like me, I got a strong Division 3, which is equivalent to a C+. Now, each category Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Division 4. I have told you that they are A, B, C, D, isn't it? Yeah. But then, in the A, you get somebody who got an A+, A plain, or A minus, isn't it? Of course, in the 844, we don't have A+, but I'm only giving an example. Okay, let me go to a B. There is B+, B plain, and B minus. Anything plus, is it a B+, is it a C+, or even a D+? We used to call it strong. Strong Division 1. Although 844 does not have a strong Division 1 because they start from straight A. But let us go to Division 2. A person of 844 who has a person of an 844 who has an B+, we can say that is a Division 2, a strong Division 2. B plain, we would say an ordinary Division 2. And B minus, we would say a weak Division 2. C plus is like what I got. C plus is a strong Division 3. C plain is an ordinary Division 3. And C minus is a weak Division 3. D plus is a strong D plus is a strong Division 4. D plain is an ordinary Division 4, and the D minus is a weak Division 4. Then when you go to university, there's that confusion of Form 5, Form 6, but I'll try to explain. For you to go to university, it was possible for you to get, let's say, a B minus, which is a weak Division 2, and you don't go to Form 5. And me included, who got a strong C plus, which is a strong Division 3, we went to Form 5. It is just like today, you can get a B minus, but your cluster do not fit in the university. That is the same way we used to say your combination could not take you to Form 5. What you people call cluster is what we used to call combination. Angalia hapo kwa Bible, I always need something to wet my nini as I talk. You can even see sometimes ninakwama. The pay bill is just down there. Thank you.